And the first person I'm going to look for in 1992 is Amos Rixmann. And I really appreciate everything that you've come here to Pawnee to do for us.
Jerry, that's a nice compliment. Thank you very much. I do want to say, though, don't emphasize it too much. I could do nothing without Chatty, the board, the men that work, and the enthusiasm, and that's what Pawnee is all about. It's not just me, that's for sure.
We all work together here.
That's correct, and you have it more so than in most places. We don't name names, but there are some big shows in the country that have become very large, very lax, and not very much interested except in a little BS here and there. And that's not what we have here.
No.
Oh, there's always a bit of BS around, as we know. But,
oh, sure.
But it's a good bunch, and it's a good show. Not the biggest, but growing, and as you know, people come from a long way.
They sure do.
And it's fun to do this. It's fun to be with the men. One more thing. Last night, after the festivities, it was towards dark, getting dark time. One of the young men, who's a good engineer, was willing to, he got his crew together, and we put on what's known as an economy run. We put the engine on the brake, set the horsepower, gave him about 10 minutes to get all settled down, everything working, his fire where he wanted it, the water where he wanted it. Excuse me. Then he had a crew that weighed the coal, weighed the water, which you have to do when you run an economy run. And in 30 minutes time, an hour might be a bit more accurate, but we weren't that interested the first time. And we ran the economy run, and were able to say afterwards just how efficient everything was. That wasn't the main point that I wished to make. We were sitting there at 11 o'clock and 11:30 last night talking about it after we had done the figures, and there were about 9 men there, young men, all young men. That doesn't mean the older men aren't interested, but they were young men by my standards, certainly. Because I'm one of the few left that really were in the threshing crew day after day on different jobs, you see. But getting back to last night, those young men were so enthusiastic that they wanted to get together on several weekends, haul engines to a location where they could put their entire energy for 2 days to doing this kind of testing. Now that's the kind of interest that makes me want to do these things, and I think you can see what I'm talking about.
Well, I think that's terrific. Amos, we sure thank you for everything, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Amos.
Fine. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're back up in the steam engine section, and we're talking to David Bennett from Prague, Oklahoma. David, you're one of the directors here, and you're one of the folks that has a big hand in this show. Tell us a little bit about how the show's gone and what you think about the show this year.
It's muddy, slimy, miserable. Can't move this thing, but at least we can fire them up. We got clowns, a lot of clowns.
Yeah, I see.
Matt Archer and Ed Larson, they try to trip you up any chance they get, shake an axe at you.
They wouldn't do anything like that.
Stuff coffee cans down smokestacks.
I heard about that.
Give out awards for the best engine of the year here.
Best engine of the year getting stuck?
Well, the pot of the year award over here at Altman Taylor. Poor old Nat. We were pestered with him wanting our engine. He's got his own right there.
Well, David, I would like to personally thank you and everybody involved in this show for such a wonderful show again this year. I don't know how you fellas do it every year, but you pull it out, and this show comes out like a champ every year, and it just looks better every year.
Well, thank you. I'm glad the crowd is enjoying it. I was thinking all this slime and not being able to really demonstrate anything, I thought they'd be kind of upset with things in general, but everybody comes by says they wouldn't have missed it.
Well, considering the mud and everything, I think that everything has gone real well.
Yeah.
The threshings look good. The brake has gone well. We had the incline yesterday, and I think the show is really gone along just real well.
Well, I just wish we could have done more with the Avery. We was wanting to do an economy run on it, put it on the pony brake, and do the thrashing, but it just doesn't get around in the mud as well as other engines do.
Well, there's always one way to look at that. There's another year coming.
Yeah, it'll be here next year. Hate the fella from Colorado drove 700-some miles to see this Avery. Did work in the break, didn't get to, but I think we're going to do that today. This later on this afternoon. Won't bring it to its knees, but we'll give it a nice load to where the exhaust really sounds good. An Avery, you can't beat an Avery for exhaust stack music.
Okay, David. Well, once again, thanks a lot for a fine job, well done, and we'll be looking for you next year.
Okay.
We're riding with Kenneth Kelley. Kenneth, can you tell us a little bit about your car here?
Yeah, this is 1911 Maxwell. I bought this car off of John Youngson about 15 years ago. But Harold Auto in Wichita, Kansas restored this car. It's a beautiful little old car. It runs real nice. It's good for 1 hour crawl. About that day. There are 5 of these cars left in the United States and Canada. There's one in Wichita I hear about, and the rest of them I think are on the West Coast. I drive this little car a whole lot, you know, I'm putting a lot of the freight all over the country. I've got 3 other cars. I've got a Monterey Roadster, 1931 model, empty windshield, and I've got a 1927 Model T. It's an inch too, that's a Roadster. I also got a 1928 Studebaker, and I got it out in California. This little car here, I like this the best of all 4. Very attractive little car. Kind of finish, a lot of brass on it. And I just like to drive it. This is what I call my fun car.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Kenny. We're visiting here with Scott Coons from Shawnee, Oklahoma. Scott, tell us a little bit how you feel about the show this year.
This year's show is a memorable show. With all the rain that we've had, hasn't dampened the spirits of the people that's come out. We've got real good display of tractors that came out. We had the gas engine area, just superb. This year, we had a lot of activity, although we had a lot of mudding around. So all in all, it was just as usual, a very good show.
Well, I thought so too. It's just been another excellent show in Pawnee, and I'm just real happy with it.
Things have gone well. People have responded well. Areas that we needed help in, people have always been there to help. So it's a good spirit of togetherness is what we've had this year.
Well, Scott, you've done an awful lot to help out here, and you do every year. You help move these bleachers and unload and load some of these tractors on these low boys. I would like to personally thank you for everything that you've done. You've sure done a wonderful job here, and we sure appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much, Jerry. It's an honor to be asked to do things like that with a piece of equipment like this, to be able to watch it used for how it was designed to do, and that was just pull heavy loads.
Okay, Scott, thanks a million.
All right, Jerry, thank you.
3, 2, 1, 12 o'clock. sack of wheat coming by. We're going to be setting up for thrashing. There's several bundles of wheat to be thrashed. We will be using steam engine thrashing. So we invite...
We have had a lot of good times at the Pawnee Show. For 38 years this show has gone on. This year we are all saddened in the loss of Kenneth Fiegel. Jerry's video is making this special dedication to a longtime friend and pioneer of the Oklahoma Steam Threshers Association. Kenneth Fiegel passed away November 16, 1990. He will never be forgotten and will be missed by literally thousands of steam fans.